Hey everybody, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Check out everything in the About section down below if you want to see future videos, past videos, things that we're involved with. Today, I have a very special guest with me. Today, I am in South Carolina and I am on this amazing harm reduction bus. I will give you guys a small tour in the future of this video. And I am here with Mark Burrows. He is the founder and creator of Challenges. So, hi.
Yeah. Hey,
What's going
fancy
on?
seeing you here.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing. So how did all of this come about? How did you get involved in harm reduction and in the substance use disorder community, if you will?
Yeah. So I'm a person in long-term recovery, been in recovery since 2011.
Nice.
I was an IV drug user for about 10 years and many attempts at treatment and sobriety and all that. And then finally, um, 2011, was able to get some traction. And so about 2 years into my recovery, I did a training to become a certified peer support specialist,
Mhm.
just to volunteer with a local nonprofit. And then that instantly turned into a job working with young men in recovery in like a residential setting. Um, and so, yeah, so fast forward, that was 8 years ago, and, went back to school, got some degrees, started working in the counseling field, specifically with medication for opioid use disorder, since that was my pathway of recovery. And along the way, um, I had contracted hepatitis C from my IV drug use, which I had known
Me too.
about. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucked. It was like super devastating to my
Hmm.
life and like really affected me mentally, emotionally, socially. Like I was scared to tell girlfriends about
Hmm.
it, and like how do I talk to family members? Like it was just I was largely like uneducated about hepatitis C.
I feel like, I can relate to a lot of what you're saying because I feel like there's such misinformation or no information, and
Hmm.
the only information that's like commonly publicly out there is that it's a dirty disease, and it
Hmm.
just it brings so much stigma and judgment with it, and it's always associated, like, as soon as people hear hep C they think dirty junkie. Like, I
Right,
feel
right.
like they're like, so it just, you don't hear one without the other, and I feel like that is such old school way of thinking, and so, like, just prehistoric. And I too I had hep C for, I don't even know how long, in all honesty. I have
Hmm.
no idea. I have a guess of where I got it and how I got it, but I'll never know. I was an
Hmm.
IV drug user for a very, very long time. And so my husband and I will be together 7 years this year. And I had
Hmm.
it since before he and I even met, because I had stopped using intravenously
Hmm.
way before he and I even met. So I probably had it for, oh God, I don't even know, a very long time. And then
Hmm.
I was lucky when I went to prison this last time and they caught it.
Yeah.
I took the treatment.
Hmm.
And back in the day, that treatment
Oh, you did the
was,
old school treatment.
no,
Oh,
but
okay.
I
All
know
right.
people who did,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit was
Yeah, I
serious.
had tried it. I did it for like 2 months and gave up. Like,
Yeah. Like that needle in the stomach or
hmm
wherever, and then that
yeah,
medication. It was similar to chemo. Like, people
yeah,
were,
interferon,
yeah,
yeah,
they were sick as a dog. And then
hmm
now there's new treatment. It's like a breath of fresh air. A couple of pills, couple of weeks, and it's a
yeah,
wrap.
yeah. The old treatment was weekly injections, and it was 48 weeks, and it was like I think something like a 50%
Yeah.
success rate.
Especially depending on your genotype.
Right, and some people would be bedridden, couldn't
Yes.
work, like super sick. So
Yep.
yeah,
I even
not a great
remember someone that
program.
I was friends with, her hair started falling out, like
Yeah,
serious shit.
right.
Like, whew,
Yeah. So when they came out, the first one was called Harvoni, and now there's
yes.
more
I took
brands.
Mavi Red or
Maverick,
Maverick,
maybe. Yeah.
something along those lines. It was
Yeah.
amazing. And I did
Yeah.
it while I was in prison and
Yeah.
in the shock. I was doing like a military boot camp, and I took it
Okay.
during then too. And I was able to do it. And it was crazy. I thought I was
Yeah.
going to die, but
Yeah.
it's amazing.
No, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's saved a lot of lives.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was fortunate when that came out. It was right around the time I started working in the field, and that was amazing, saved my life, great. But that treatment cost about $90,000.
Hmm.
My insurance paid for most of it. But so it was around that time when all these things professionally and personally started happening that I was like, there's got to be a better way.
Hmm.
Like, how can I help prevent this from happening to other people? And so I quickly realized there were no programs called harm reduction programs in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And so that was it. I set out on this journey for like a year of like networking and researching and talking to people and going to conferences and doing all that and trying to find out how can I start a syringe program. And I kept I remember I had this meeting with a congressman. And I was like, this is it. I've hit the jackpot. Like, look at me going to speak to this like state rep, right?
It's so funny you say that because like our paths are so similar. Like I remember coming home from meetings like that, telling my husband like, oh my God, they listened, they heard me. And then I get an email like 6 months later, like, thanks for your visit that day. I hope your day is great. And I'm like, but what about what we talked about?
Right.
Nothing changes. No. Nothing happened.
Exactly. Yeah. So you leave these meetings and you're like,
full of hope.
Like what the hell? Like nothing. So that's what happened. So I left this meeting with the congressman, nothing changed. And so it just finally occurred to me, like, dude, if you want to start a syringe program, you have to just go start a syringe program. Yep. Like there's no one's going to do it for you. There's no magic answer.
And everyone's going to be like, yeah, I'm on board. Right. And then they're not.
Right.
They're just not.
Yeah.
And you're there by yourself with a box of needles.
Yeah. So I got some Sharps containers donated by a local doctor. I got some syringes donated by a pharmacy. I think I purchased some supplies on my own, like a couple $100, and that was it. And so I started setting up out of the trunk of my car, in certain parts of town, certain neighborhoods, and I would give out like bottles of water and condoms just to kind of get people engaged and start the conversation. And then if, I had syringes if they needed them. And so that's really how it started. And, that was about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And, it's just, every year it's just grown and grown and grown.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. So it's so funny because Supplies for Life and this amazing bus that you have that I'm totally jealous of are so similar. Like I literally just started it on my own on my couch, and my big you gave out water and condoms. I still give out condoms to everybody. I even give them to my stepkids for Christmas.
Nice.
Because I feel like it's so important.
Safe sex.
Yes, 100%. But how I got people in, I gave out baby supplies. I did diapers.
Oh, that's
wipes.
smart.
Yeah, because I was able to write grants and get small funding pools for diapers and wipes and formula.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, we're going to get these people help one way or another. So that's what I did. And especially during COVID. And I was like, well, when you come pick us up, guess what? I have diapers. Let's hide your kid and da da da. So it like made people get engaged, and it made them want to come, and it made them feel safe because they weren't, and less guilty because they weren't just coming up to pick up rigs and fentanyl test strips,
Yeah. I have some friends that would give out like pairs of socks and clothes and stuff.
Like, I give out socks, underwear, sports bras, tampons, like you name it. If someone needs it, I'm going to do whatever I can to get it, because I feel like that's how we build a bridge. Because it's not just about your addiction, it's about you as a human being in your life. And I feel like it is incredibly important for you to see you can depend on me and you can count on me, and what I say I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do.
Right.
And I feel like that's what makes things like this so special. Grassroots organizations like ours that start from literally nothing but a hope and a dream, and have been there and know what it's like. It just, I don't know, it just changes the outlook. People like you and I who have been there and then come back and can be professional and can be courteous, but can still go back to where we came from and work with both sides of the field, so to speak, I feel like we are the people who are going to make a difference and make the normie people, see that we still really are human beings. We fucked up, or shit happened in our life, or our past trauma have gotten us to where we are. But at the end of the day, we are all the same. And I feel like that's so incredibly important. And this is amazing. Like,
thanks. Yeah.
How did this come about?
So this was last year. So we have an office in a little suburban town not far from here, and where we do other things like addiction treatment, medication for opioid use disorder, counseling, things like that. And that also kind of doubles as the office for Challenges Inc. And so we were doing direct service out of there, a lot of syringe service and testing and things. But it started getting like too crazy, like too many people, drawing too much attention. We share the parking lot with a daycare program.
Oh my God.
So that kind of created some problems. And not the most convenient. Yeah. So.
But that's real life. Like, that's real life. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that happen. And because society has such a poor misconception of what things are really like, it's, oh my God, they're coming.
Right.
They're outside. Like, unfortunately.
No, 100%. Yeah. So it just like, we thought it was a safe move to like kind of step back from doing so many services out of the office And so I had always dreamt of a mobile unit
Yeah.
where we could do like offer holistic wraparound services because
Mhm.
like yeah, I can do it out of the trunk of my car and we have volunteers that make deliveries and things like that. But you're kind of limited as to what kind of service you can offer when you do that. Like, you can give out supplies, but
Yeah, you can't do
you can't
testing.
do testing and
Right.
referrals and counseling and things like that. So just coincidentally, like a local treatment program that we have done work with had this old school bus just kind of sitting around
That's amazing.
and decided to donate it to us. So they donated to us. A volunteer and myself did all the work on the inside and got some money donated to pay for other renovations, and
It's
here
amazing.
we are.
It's
So
amazing.
it's
And
been about a year.
yeah, this is like a dream come true for me. This is what when Supplies for Life actually when I realized like, okay, this is a thing that people actually are cool with, like
Hmm.
other agencies and whatnot. I was like, I need some sort of sustainability other than my, at the time I had a 2008 Ford Explorer that was like ready to fall apart.
Yeah.
At one point in time, like I couldn't get one door open or closed. Like it was bad, but it was all
Yeah.
I had and it got the job done. And I was so fearful, like if my personal vehicle went, I couldn't
Right.
work,
Right.
I'm kind of in the same situation now, but with a better vehicle. So it's just weird.
Yeah.
But this is an end goal for Supplies for Life to be able to, because we are so incredibly rural.
Hmm.
Um, like I was saying earlier, when you lay out our county, we're the size of Rhode Island. And
Oh
that's just
wow. Yeah.
one county. It's
Yeah.
huge. And I service the entire county. We went
Right.
to a town the other day called Harvard, New York. I didn't even know existed.
Mm.
And I was like, how long has this been here?
Well, yeah. Well, what sucks too is like you and I are going out here running around like doing this with no pay and like killing our vehicles and all of the stuff, right?
Yep.
And like with no funding, no
Nothing.
support, and it's like how much value are you bringing to your community? I mean, if you just looked at my case of Hep C, right, and you said, "Hey, I just prevented someone from contracting hepatitis C,"
Mhm.
there's $90,000 in the bank that I just
Correct.
saved you,
Correct.
taxpayers or
Mhm.
hospital system or insurance company, whoever's paying, right? Um, and so like millions of dollars. Like
Mhm.
one per like you doing what you're doing in your county could be saving taxpayers millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
Like realistically,
Yep.
And what's really frustrating is there's 35 plus years of data and research supporting what we're doing,
Correct.
and still we're having to
Yep.
like prove it to people and make our case that
and
this is effective.
it's
So,
mind blowing because and
no.
I feel like sometimes when I like speak to people or I do presentations or whatever, I have to have like these really harsh facts in order for
Mhm.
people to be like, whoa, or I have to say these really crazy things. Like I have a 10-year-old daughter. When it's her time to have children and there's grandbabies from that generation, there will be no grandparents
Mm.
because they are either all incarcerated or all have overdosed.
Mhm.
Like, and I hate saying that, but at this point, like that's becoming the harsh reality of our younger generation's future.
Mhm.
And in my state alone during COVID, my God, I mean, everywhere worldwide, it's not even just the United States, worldwide,
Mhm.
we lost a disgusting number of people that potentially could have been saved. I think during the time of COVID, 11 people that I actively knew and worked with overdosed and died.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's just me alone.
Right.
And I just think though, we just need to continue to talk to everybody and anybody that will
Yeah.
listen to me about harm reduction.
For sure. I think like the name of the game is, and I don't know, I feel like I've been realizing this slowly over the years, but more so recently, is like we really have to just find partnerships and
Mhm.
allies and people who, what like maybe you offer something that we don't offer, and vice versa,
Yep.
And I think that's really how we can be successful is like all coming together, all collaborating, whether it's on grants or just direct service or whatever.
Yep.
But so that's what, because we're small, we don't have a lot of funding, we don't have a lot of manpower per se. But we can partner with larger groups that do. So,
Mhm. I think what's really saved myself and my program is this channel because the donations that I've received over the last 2 years is unbelievably amazing. Like it's
Yeah.
beautiful. All I do is
Yeah.
put a post on Instagram or in my my Facebook group, like, hey, supplies are low. bam, all of a sudden there's 30, 40 boxes of food at my house. Like, it's
Wow,
beautiful.
yeah, that's cool.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
100%. You should start a channel. I'm dead serious.
Hey, I tried my hand at podcasting,
And
and it was okay. Yeah, we did good. It's just a lot of work. It's
Yes.
a lot of time and work, like
Sure
editing and producing and all of those things. Like,
Mhm.
but I think we hit like 60 episodes, and
I have one podcast recorded.
okay, yeah,
I just don't have the time with everything else.
Yeah.
And then I have a small child and I have a large child. So,
no, I get, yeah, like, yeah.
I just don't. I wish I did, because I started on this platform. So for me, this is more natural.
Mhm.
It was awkward for me to go in a room and talk.
Oh, it's so weird.
It was really
I do it in
weird.
yeah.
But I'm
Some
telling you,
people
you
are
have
great at it. I don't think I'm.
You have
great
the
at it.
best acoustics to use in here, though. Like,
Oh,
this
all
would
right.
be
Mm.
this would be
We
great.
did talk about doing some stuff out of here, like just some sorts of media and
Yeah,
whatever,
this would be perfect
content.
because it's like a sealed, thing.
Yeah.
This would be perfect for it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Some
So,
ideas. We'll
yeah,
we'll
this
talk
would
more about that.
for
That
sure.
should be
This
cool.
would be you
Coming live from the bus.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that would do amazing. You could have Sarah on.
That's right.
You could kill it on here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If people want to donate to you, how or
Yeah.
come see you, or that live in
Yeah.
this area or know someone, where do we find you?
So challengesinc.org is our
Okay.
website, challengesinc.org, like INC.
Okay.
And you can donate on that website through PayPal and other things.
Okay.
You can find out our location for our mobile unit, and other services. We do mail-based services as well. So
Oh.
people can go on our website and there's a little email form and just send us an email request and we'll send a package in the mail.
I will link all that information down below in the description of this video. So if you guys need those services or know someone who does, you can just reach out very quietly and get what you need. Now, do you do testing on this bus as well?
We do, yeah, right here. So we do HIV and Hep C testing. We
Beautiful.
do rapid tests. They get the results right then and there. If they're positive for either one, we give them a referral to free treatment.
Okay.
And it's like a legit, like, warm handoff. It's not
Right,
like we just
right.
give them a business card. Like, we set them
Right,
up
I
with
hate
an
that.
appointment. And so, yeah, we do all that here. And that's every Friday night right now from
Okay.
5 to 7. In a couple weeks, we'll be expanding
Damn,
to
we're not
3
gonna be
days.
here.
I know.
I
That
would have
sucks.
loved to come see this.
Yeah. Soon we'll be doing 3 days a week, and longer hours.
Now, do you
per
have
day.
set places that you go to each time, or is it constantly changing and
Yeah.
just rotating out of those set places, or is it new?
So right now we do the same spot every Friday night.
Okay.
So people can count on that. They know to show up. They know we'll be there. Soon we'll be doing, like I said, we'll add 2 days a week, and those will also be the same space,
Cool.
same
That's
places
awesome.
every week. And then we haven't nailed down those exact sites yet, but we have rough ideas of what part of town we'll be at. And then we do one-off events as well. So, like, we get asked to come out and provide services to treatment centers and methadone clinics and whoever, all over the place. So we do those little one-off, like, just pop-up events.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you want to?
Yeah, I guess I just encourage people to, support their local syringe program. There's like tons of
Yes.
grassroots programs like these around the country, and unfortunately most of the overdose prevention happening is by people like you and me, and even more so by people who are actively using drugs. I mean,
Correct.
they really are the true first responder.
Absolutely.
And-
It's funny you say that, because I just posted a meme the other day that literally says when people who are in active addiction have unlimited supply to Narcan, they save more lives than
Oh,
the
yeah.
EMS and police.
For sure. We were talking about this.
100%.
We were talking about this on the bus on Friday. Like, South Carolina just reported the overdose reversal numbers for the month of January, I think.
How were they?
And it was all just EMS stuff, but that they're missing a huge,
Do you know that
count
people
because-
do not call EMS?
Right.
90%, I would
dude,
say.
like, we pump out so much naloxone and Narcan out of this bus, like hundreds of kits a month,
Mhm.
up to 1,000 sometimes, right?
That's beautiful.
And like none of that's being counted by the state.
Yeah.
So they're like, look at us. We had 10 reversals last month through EMS. We're like, dude, we pumped out 500 kits on Friday. Like, what,
yeah.
So it's, again, just,
And I almost feel like, and this is probably my own judgment towards them and my own stigma towards them, but unfortunately, this is how I feel because of past
mhm.
you know, they intentionally don't want our numbers because then it would show it's really working and it's really a necessity. And then they would have no choice but to give us more funding and to support the things we do. So this is their way of saying, look, we did something. Thank you. Keep you at bay. But at the end of the day, if they were actually to include us in their research and data, we would triple those numbers and it would show that it is the one thing saving lives.
Yeah. I know. It's super frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
I have to like remember not to burn bridges sometimes, and you know, like my professionalism has to come out.
There are times that I'm like, I'm going to walk away for a second, because if not, I'm going to tell this person what I really think about them, and it's not going to be good for my career or for anything that I'm trying to do to help people. And it's a challenge sometimes, to say the least. But it's a learning experience.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So.
Well, no, I guess just you know. Yeah, I would just say, like, you know, be good to people who use drugs, and just remember that people aren't bad people. They're not doing, like, we're just all doing the best we know how to do. Like, that's it. Like, if I could do better, I would. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, everyone deserves compassion and respect.
Right. Just because you use drugs doesn't make you a bad person. I sit down sometimes, and some of the stories that I hear from some of my people, I don't know if I'd be still standing the way they are. They are some of the strongest people I've ever met, because the things they have gone through, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, agreed. So.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me.
I'm so glad we got to do this.
This is amazing.
Especially out of the bus. Like,
I know.
Cool.
This is amazing. I'm so incredibly jealous. I will definitely be back when we come back. And I will try and do it on a day that you guys have the bus out, so we can, you know, show some people what that's like too, as long as you guys are cool with that. And,
oh, totally.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.